Okay, so welcome to Outfitter Tales, one of our short episodes, although they never seem to be very short. Rab's back from his travels.
Hi.
What have we got for you this week? Well, basically, you didn't meet these guys because you're away in Argyle.
Doing some work.
Doing some work. Well, I was working as well. So we had a couple from New Zealand, and they've been with a bit of an email ping pong as you do, booking, and they came over. Basically, Christina. She works as a taxidermist in New Zealand. Got into hunting about 8 years ago. Her and her husband came over and really quite keen to have a look at Ayrshire countryside. So booked a bit of stalking with me. She's got a connection with Scotland because there's family linked to some of the families from Scotland. So they were sort of staying with them, but wanted a couple of days hunting. So when I took them out on the sort of first session, we got this was crossover between stags and does. We got a couple of nice stags, and I was kind of surprised why they declined the shot. Well, then they sent me a link to where they're from and what they're doing in New Zealand. So I'm not really going to say much more about that, but that's what's coming up next. So we've got a bit of original material for you this week from New Zealand, and we've had a busy weekend.
Yeah, I've been running. Well, we've been running, but I've been doing all the work for the DSC.
It works well,
one.
that, by the way.
Yeah,
it's working well for me. That.
That's why you're getting old and retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So running the DSC 1 course yesterday. So we had six guests in. 6 came to do the revision.
Yeah.
And 7 actually
the
did the test.
Guy just did assessment only. Yeah.
And then there was 3 retests. Out of them all, everyone passed bar 1, who had an issue with the
written paper.
The written paper.
Yeah, the general paper.
Yeah, I think he only failed it by 1 as well.
Shame really, but anyway, he'll be coming back to just do a retest in January for the next one. So, but good, really, that's good.
Yeah, and I even got some grapes.
Ah, well, yeah. Now there's a link. We're getting good at this television malarkey. So here's the link now. Grapes. So we've basically Steve's made contact or been contacted talking to Jan. Jan is a chef of some renown. Runs a bit of a cookery school and does all sorts of bits and pieces. So kind of knows his way around the kitchen. But he's very much into the same ethic that we are, which is a sustainable. Although you don't eat green stuff much and coloured stuff and what have you. I'm trying to educate you, but anyway.
Mint Arrows is the only green stuff I eat.
Yeah, I'll work on him. So it's quite nice because we're all about the field to fork experience. It's not just about shooting deer. It's what you do with them. We eat them. We're very passionate about it. Butcher sort of training and all the rest of it. So it's quite nice to do the other aspect of that. So we're going to do some seasonal produce really from the garden.
From your own very fair hands.
And so rather than standing here talking about it, Rab's going to follow me around and we're going to just show you. This is now the middle of November, Remembrance Sunday just gone, and amazing what's sort of ready now to pick out the garden and will keep us going all winter. So we're going to have a wander around and we're going to show you.
I would just like to add, obviously Chris takes all the credit for this, but it's Anne that does all the maintenance of the stuff. But Chris will tell you.
She doesn't. She doesn't. She never goes in the veg garden.
Right, we'll see. Shall we get Anne to confirm
Right,
that, shall we?
Just to clarify this, my wife, and she'll verify this, does not go anywhere near the veg garden. Flowers, cut flowers, shrubs in that bit, has nothing to do with this bit. 100%, this is me.
I'm going to make sure Anne sees this.
She will tell you it's right. Anyway, we'll get on with it. Well, first of all, clip.
Shall we introduce the New Zealand clip?
Yes.
Yeah. So here's these really, really small New Zealand stags. So bear in mind, New Zealand, a 16 pointer is classed as a cull animal. Here you go. Have a look at these big boys.
Which explains to me why I didn't want to shoot a 10 pointer that was out in front of him a few weeks ago. But anyway, there you go.
Enjoy.
Even after all these years and all these stags, still the odd one comes out of the woodwork and just has the wow factor. This stag was no exception.
So this is Phil.
How's it going?
Phil's a Kiwi. Stag raw. Little story about the stag. Photographed him in velvet back in December. Posted on social media. It came to Phil's attention, and here we are in late April, tracking him down. He's how far was he? 1100 metres from here. We came out last night, couldn't find him, and then finally, probably about an hour before dark, we saw him. So we've, rather than blunder in and have a crack at him then, we just decided just to take our time and do a little bit more methodical. He's worth it, he's a bloody nice stag, he's got a huge character. So we've hatched a plan. We're going to get our butts across here, up that ridge and around that side of that hill and through those trees. Here he is. Shit. Here he is. Man, the myth, the legend. So we've put in a bit of a walk, and we're doing the last 300 or so from him now. We're going to navigate around a couple of other stags. If we spook them, then the game will be over. So we are being pretty cautious. Freaking leaves are really noisy too. Like cornflakes. Nice day to be in the hills. Dead, mate. Perfect shot.
There it is.
That tray tying on for his left antler is what makes the stag so incredibly special.
Yeah.
That extension of width, which could be, I don't know, definitely somewhere in the top 3 in the world. It'd have to be, surely.
Phil took a pretty good shot at 70 yards, perfect shot through, nailed him, and he's 34 points, astronomically wide in the form of spread.
Nice. Thank you.
Welcome, mate.
We've reached the summit of Mount Everest. No buck. A bloody critter on my head. It's been bugging me all morning. We're going to go up over the top here, around the side, and there'll be something there. We've got a stag up here on the skyline, about 200 from us. If we bump him, it might not be so good. Too many deer, damn problem. At least we know which way the wind's blowing.
Shot.
That's him, buddy. That's our stag. He is, that's him. That's the one we're looking for. Got to be 45 long. Massive.
story. You tell a story. So we were actually on our way down that direction to have a crack at that fallow buck, and we saw this on the ridge from quite a distance, and it was deemed to be definitely be a shooter, and I'm certainly glad we put the effort in getting across here to have a crack at him. The stag is old. The stag has been around for quite a while, and it's really cool to have taken him because next year he could go backwards. So he's very wide, he's very typical, 22 points, and most of his points are very honest, so those inches of antler will certainly add up, and there was no ground shrinkage when we walked up to him, so pretty good shot. Aussies are alright, bloody great outcome. Now the mission is to get him skinned and get him home before dark, so we'll get into it.
So here we are, day 2. Lockie got a pretty good stag last night, and today we're after a fellow buck. We've seen a buck right across the valley this morning, and we're just making an approach on him now. Hopefully we can get him with a rifle range. They're all pretty worn out now. This is post-rut, they're feeding up, and they're relatively easy to find. So we have seen a few reasonable bucks, but this one kind of stood out, and looks like he's got about 20 points, and yeah, he should be a ripper. So very exciting stuff. Weather's going to hold out. It's been a bit squally today. Had a bit of rain earlier on, but forecast says it's supposed to improve, so life is good. Oh, Lockie found his buck. We're heading home now. We're done. Nice and easy. We'll find a hunk of skin for him. It's a beauty, mate. Congratulations.
Cheers, mate.
Good shot. Yeah. All right.
Our buck was still there, 220 from our sniper position. We would sit it out and wait for him to get up.
Take your time. Shot. Awesome. Nice work, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
Oh yeah. Big boy. Well done, bud.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Great, mate.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Awesome.
In early July we welcomed 4 Australians. They'd travelled here from New South Wales and they were after 2 stags and 2 management animals. As usual, we didn't muck around and got stuck in straight away with Brian.
Smile, Brian. It's not a funeral.
Honestly, you gold too.
24 points. Bit of character coming off that side. A sticker coming off that side. Beautiful stag. You happy, mate?
Very happy. Yep.
Next up was Angus. Angus had requested a stag without all those extra points, so a 20 pointer would do.
Here we are. This morning has been quite challenging. We've had to dodge paradise ducks, and plan A, plan B, plan C have all come to a screeching halt. Our stag that we've found is about 480 yards from here, and in between us is red hinds and a couple of fellow bucks, and the easy way around is skirting around some paradise ducks, which when they start squawking everything's going to run away. So I'm waiting for a divine intervention or a plan D. The good news is that they're relaxed and they're feeding and they're going to bed down eventually, and I think these ducks will bugger off, so we'll hopefully be able to make a move on them. Angus is a very patient man, look at him. We're going to walk up probably about half a mile and see if they've moved. If they ever move, we'll hatch a plan to get well within rifle range. Valley in front of me had about 11 stags in it now, there's nothing. Come over here a bit, there's a little high point here. It's probably better, right? Yep. Bit of pressure.
Yeah.
160 yards from the end of the trail here, so too good opportunity not to take. He's a beauty. He's a 10 by 10, 10 on each side, 20 point stag, pretty heavy. Angus made no mistake. I think I was just as nervous as he was actually. So yeah, he's a beauty. He's a ripper.
So last year I was approached by a couple to come and help and do some assistance in guiding and do mostly weekend work. I knew that there was a market for lots of weekend management hunts, but to be honest, I didn't want to give up all my weekend time. That time I would like to devote to things like my kids and also some other things that I've been up to, like yoga.
BJ, pizza's ready.
Trophy trout fishing. Romantic liaisons. Step Up Christina and Damon Williams. They would host and hunt here from the Rat Trap Hotel just up the hill. Now Christina's a pretty good cook and they're both experienced hunters. Prior to them doing any guiding here, they would both get the opportunity to take a stag off the property each and familiarise themselves with the lay of the land.
Pressure deal.
Just a bit.
Pressure deal. Nice
Hunting
work.
with BJ.
As women always do, Christina absolutely nailed him, pulled off the perfect shot. That stag you just saw in that last bit of footage, here he is. We found him dead not long after I filmed that. He's a 500 plus inch stag with 34 scoreable points. He's 11.5 inches around the bases and it's a waist. Damon was due here a short period of time after I shot that piece of footage, and I decided that if the stag that had done this was a lesser animal and perhaps we shouldn't be breeding from, had those particular horns, then it would be a perfect animal for Damon to take out. And this is what happened. I'm on him now.
Absolutely awesome.
Damon didn't really want me to film this, but there was no room in his truck and he had to show everybody his trophy rack strapped to the roof of his vehicle. So getting back to those Aussies, now the two ladies, Carmel and Leah, have both requested to be given the opportunity to take their first game animals. After a little bit of a session on the range and some helpful advice, they'd be shooting to kill in no time.
Dead stag.
That's awesome.
So Carmel was up first. We found a small group of fellow bucks with a cull among them.
Let's put those down over there a bit more. Well done.
Oh, wow. Wow. How far was that?
250.
You shot the right one.
I did. Oh, good. I was getting
Nice work.
confused.
Well done.
Thank you very
That's
much.
all right.
Thank you, BJ.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow. I'm very excited.
That's a very good shot.
Excellent, fantastic. Thanks.
First there.
Yes, my first.
No pressure. 5 to 6 people watching.
Yeah.
And last but not least was Leah. Leah would have 5 people watching and she was the last one to hunt. No pressure.
Good stuff.
Holy fuck.
Well done.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. That was a good shot.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Nice work.
I know what camel means now. That is a rush. Pretty damn good, if you can't already tell.
Now I don't know what you guys reckon, but I reckon that's shot of the year. Congratulations, Leah. Here's another view in slow motion.
Okay, so I think what we'll do now is have a walk around Garyloop HQ.
Let's go for a stroll. That'll be Chris from now on, because I'm obviously operating the camera. See you in a bit.
He's working again. Right, so 11th of November, lots of people ask me about bees and what do they do in the winter months. Well, when it's a nice day like this, that's what they do. They're busy flying. There's rabble cut over to here. We've got heather, which is specifically planted around the pond area here. So this is a kind of a wildlife area that I've created. Bee friendly, but also lots and lots of other things friendly. So we've got newts in the pond, amphibians, invertebrates, all sorts. We've got dragonflies. But bees use a lot of water, so I leave the top of the surface area overgrown with plants and foliage. The bees can land on them and get a drink, but it's also beneficial to just about anything else that you can think of. Just habitat, food, shelter, protection, water and all the rest of it. So it's all part of the sustainability and the environmentally friendly bit. Actually doing something about it, and you can see the heather there, it's in lovely flower, quite warm now, so the bees will be able to work that. And even into the December months, you've got the ivy going up the trees, which flowers, so they'll get pollen even in December off the ivy. And then as soon as we get around into the new year, we've got like January, kind of February, the gorse starts flowering. So on good days, they'll get pollen off the gorse. So they can feed on warm days, and they will feed on warm days. And I like to see that because it shows that the colony is healthy. So 60-foot polytunnel now, grow pretty much a lot of stuff in here, can get it on the go early. These little self-seed potatoes that I've left in, I've seeded down from the early potato crop, which I start lifting the second week in April, so we get new potatoes from April right through the season, but you can never get them all out, so a lot of people would dig those up, but they'll actually produce small new potatoes for Christmas, so I'll be getting new potatoes at Christmas time out of there. Grapevine, which is just about finished. This is the remnants of the butternut squash, but lots and lots of veg will be grown in here, but I'll film that in spring when it's completely full. These are now coming to the end of the sort of grape season, still very nice, but they're sort of past the best. But that's the remnants of the grapes up there, which Rab loves. It's about the only flipping coloured thing he eats that's not chocolate or cake.
What are you trying to say? They are lovely, by the way.
So what we've got here now is the egg operatives. So fresh eggs from free range every morning. Got a massive big enclosure here which is fox proofed, so they can wander at will. There's a big area, and when I go into the pen in a minute you'll just see how happy these girls are, because when I shout them they'll all come running. Quite funny really to watch. Knock myself out on that.
That wouldn't have been funny enough. That'd have been a candid camera moment, wouldn't it?
Tuk, 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 tuk. Just put the camera up there. Here they come. 16 egg operatives. Obviously very stressed and not happy with their luck. Breakfast. Okay, so we're coming into the main bed production area now. So basically I'm in the process of making some more raised beds in here, just so I can control water more than anything. But there's still a lot of produce in here. So remnants of cabbages, red cabbage, celeriac, spinach, a few beetroot left. I try to work an integrated pest management system, which basically means we have flowering plants in and amongst the vegetable plants, which tends to attract some of the sort of flies and butterflies, so I can try and keep the butterflies and that sort of thing off the veg, but also a net quite a bit. So you've still got some Brussels in there, there's some celeriac in there, and remnants of the nasturtiums.
I've actually just seen a rat running down about here.
Have you?
Just in front of that robin.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, get me rat man on that then.
Who's that? Who's your rat man?
You. Get on with your job, will you? Like your bloody foxing. We've got some kale here, lovely that'll go right through the winter. Beautiful, done with Parmesan cheese. It's boiled basically, white wine and Parmesan cheese in a herby crust. It's fantastic. Red cabbage. Growing parsnips now in raised beds, which means I get a really big white. I'm not going to lift it, Rob, if you can just show that. Please come this side maybe. So basically I got some cracking parsnips in there. Be nice and clean because this is all compost. But I'll leave that in. But these are massive big sort of parsnips on there. Again, we'll be lifting them all winter. No unnatural fertiliser, so this is another feature or function of the grass operatives. Fresh stuff, well rotted, that's great for mixing in the garden. Remnants of gladioli, flowering cut flowers. We've also got a wildflower bed I've put in there. The bark mulch in there is just a mulch on top of the soil, keeps a bit of warmth in there, weed suppressant. So basically these beds will all be coming into production in the spring. So what we've got in here, there's some strawberries there which we had a full crop of. They're just sitting there, they'll produce second year, so they'll produce a mass of strawberries next year.
Are these all seedlings in the pots?
Yeah, but well, basically it's a plant.
Yeah.
It's a young plant.
It's a separate plant, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll grow up. I mean that's second year, so there'll be a lot of strawberries on them. So coming from the left, these are celeriac. These are Swedes. So some cracking Swedes, again, all winter. Leek, we're getting through them now, one or two are going to seed, but we'll get leeks all winter. And then in here we've got Cavolo Nero kale, which is this one, again, which is lovely. Again, we'd like to do that with Parmesan and white wine. And then Brussels, I love Brussels, and a lot of people don't, but Brussels are great. And it's
funny how you only get them at Christmas though, isn't it? Because they're so great, and even people don't like them at Christmas, but they buy them and cook them anyway.
Do you know what we had yesterday?
Brussels.
Brussels.
Yeah, but you're a weirdo.
Absolutely beautiful then. Can't beat. There's right ways to cook things though. You've obviously not had it cooked right. What else was in here during the early part of the season would have been cabbages, cauliflower, other sort of brassicas. But it just shows you how much stuff we'll be picking all of this really.
That's twice I've heard you say brassica. What does brassica mean?
Brassica basically it's your cabbages and your collards and your Brussels. It's
so broadleaves?
No, generic term for green kind of veg, I think, cabbagey type.
Okay. I just didn't
Kale,
know.
Brussels, that sort of thing.
Right.
Collies, all brassicas. And that's about it. So that's a quick whistle-top tour of the sustainability element, that's a mouthful, of Garaloop. We could be pretty much self-sufficient because if we can pick it, we can catch it, or we can shoot it. Or they lay it, or we get the honey off the bees. So there's a lot of food we produce here. So
you just need cows now, don't you?
Yeah, they're just a bit messy for poddling, that's the only thing. But I suppose if we want a cow, we could always go and shoot one, I suppose, really.
No, I'm talking about milk and cheese and butter and stuff.
Okay.
You're sick.
that's probably the first time you've had a proper one round, is it? There inside the.
I do it all the time for rats.
Oh, in there? Do you get them? Have you got them in there? Yeah. They're coming in now, aren't they? We get the winter months, so they're drawing into the feeders and that.
Yeah, but I'm starting getting the mice and stuff in the house now as well.
Yeah, okay. Need to get up here and ratting.
Yes,
We could film that.
we could.
Bringing you some ratting soon.
Yep, there you go.
So, one other thing that we were hoping to tag onto this one was just a little bit of an update on knot picks. Imminent, it's on its way. China has shipped them, so we've got some knot picks gear arriving imminently. If we get a chance, we might just do a quick cover of it in this episode, but I think it's probably unlikely now. Steve's off to
Uzbekistan or somewhere.
Somewhere funny. Steve's off somewhere funny to do something funny with some guys, so we'll bring you that. Ibex, is it Ibex? Okay, we'll bring you that in a forthcoming episode. So that's about us from us this week.
I'd just like to apologise for my comment on one of the last series, obviously, about the rotten stags. It was meant not to offend anyone, and I apologise for it.
Yeah, I mean, we all say things, just jokingly, and then you think, that might be taken the wrong way, so yeah.
If Steve was doing his job, he'd have edited it out.
Well, I was going to say that as well, actually, so Steve, that's actually your fault. And the other thing I've got to tell him on camera is, I mentioned it last week, is when you say guys, you've got to say guys and gals, because there's a lot of gals watching.
All right, peeps.
So that's...
What's a non-binary?
Don't be getting down that road, because I will get into trouble then. All right, we're doing guys and girls, and that's it.
Thank you, peoples.
Okay, yeah. So, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
And watch this space. He'll be waiting now for me to say something wrong, and he'll pick on me.
Cheers, guys.
And?
Peeps.
And?
Girls.
Thank you. Good night.